Oh, hey. What's up? Welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube or Periscope, wherever you're watching this. This is being streamed live in front of a live, not studio audience, in front of a live international audience. And that means that it might take a little bit more time than you would think for me to review this book, because I like to read the comments and interact with the audience live. So if you like that kind of thing and you like to discuss and have real-time feedback, please do follow or subscribe to this channel. I am live on Periscope every single day, 7 days a week for 3 hours a day. I've been live for a little over an hour so far today. I'm going into hour number 2 right now. Thanks for being here with me if you're here live, like Mark Gage, who was the first comment of the broadcast. Also, did I say welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor? Hi. Yeah, that's what I usually say. Not sure if I said it. I've said it so many times. Who really knows? Hi, Bobby. These amazing people need to get a special moment of gratitude and recognition for being the people that make this channel possible. They went to the button, it was really hard for them to click a button on their phone or on their laptops and go to nextjuice.com/support and help to keep this channel going. You can send $5. If you don't think this is worth $5, tell me what you think is worth $5 and I'll be happy to do a broadcast on it, because, I have the space heater blowing on me. I'm cold. Turn that off. And yeah, I like to cater my content to the people who make the channel possible, so whatever you find valuable, I'll be happy to do that. Today we're talking about something that can actually make you money, so definitely super valuable. Thank you, Mark. I'm not in the hot tub, that was yesterday, but we'll be back there on Wednesday. So this is Mastering Recurring Revenue by Judge Graham. Learn the formula to create compounding, predictable, and massive revenue. And the first thing that I probably noticed about this book is how small it is. Now, let me just say, for those of you who really just want like a clear, concise, great review and summary of this book, go ahead and click the link nextjuice.com and just sign up for my book reviews email, because I send out an email 3 times a year. I won't email you any more than that, once every 4 months, and it's just a summary and review written of all the books that I read throughout the year. So if you don't have time to sit here and watch the video, you can just do that. It's totally free, and otherwise, if you want to sit here and hang out, I'd love to have you and hear from you. Dave said, this is a book I need to read. I love this. This is a book that all entrepreneurs need to read, whether it's you have an existing business, or you've been thinking about starting your own business, or you're thinking about setting up some kind of side hustle. This is an awesome book because it is so short and it is so jam-packed with great information. So I have studied business for years now, and this book gave me at least 4 or 5 brand new ideas just from reading just these few pages. Let's see how many pages it actually is. 59 pages, and it's like double spaced and lots of space in there. So, entire page is dedicated to the chapter name. It's a super fast read. I read this book in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. Maybe it was like a half hour, but it was really, really super fast. It took me longer than it would have just reading it, because I was stopping to write down ideas that it was giving me for potential ways for recurring revenue for my business. So if you're not a live streamer, some of the things I talk about here aren't going to be relevant to you, but they can give you ideas for your business. I'll tell you, he didn't talk about live streaming or social media in this book a single time, and I was still able to gather a lot of really useful information and ideas from it in a way that was new and fresh for me. So hopefully that would be the same for you as well. And this was also a book that my boyfriend had read, and he's also been in business. He's been in business for like 20 years. So good stuff here. So the first part of the book I pretty much skipped. Chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 1 is Your Ticket to Exponential Growth, and Chapter 2 is You Won't Survive Without Recurring Revenue. So I'm at a place where I know the value of recurring revenue, and I just want to figure out how to increase it. So I didn't really need to figure out, I didn't need to be sold on why recurring revenue was important or why I would want to focus on this. Negan, how have you been? Haven't seen you in a few days. How are you doing? Happy New Year, happy new decade. So I just kind of basically skipped those chapters and went right on to chapter 3, which were the 3 types of recurring revenue on page 15. And those are service plans, membership programs, and subscriptions. So there's a lot of different applications for each of those types of recurring revenue that you can use in your business depending on what kind of business it is. So they're very versatile and they can be used in a lot of different industries. Another thing I want to mention that I wanted to say before and forgot about recurring revenue is that it's not all passive revenue. Okay, so this is not all passive income. There's also some things that are going to be recurring revenue that is involved with something that you actually provide directly in exchange of time for money, which is something most of us are trying to break away from, but it's still an idea of having this regular monthly income coming in, or however often, weekly, daily. Thank you, Megan. Thank you. You're awesome. Good to see you. So let's see what the next chapter is here. I don't want to go into too much on all the different, a lot of this book is just ideas on how different businesses implement these types of recurring revenue recurring revenue systems. So it's interesting. You think, oh, okay, yeah, like service plans, okay, like your iPhone, your Mac, your like the Geek Squad. You get the service plan that goes along with these technologies. But then there's other companies that have service plans that you might not have even thought of before. Let me see if I can find an example. Back where I just was. So they have like a car wash company. So you could pay, $10 to $15 every time you get your car washed, or you can pay $25 to $35 a month and get it's unlimited car washes throughout the month. So that's kind of the concept here of having a service plan. So you're paying for maybe an unlimited amount of access to something. A little bit different than paying for like Apple Care, which would be the Apple version of a service plan. So lots of different ideas in here. I really, really enjoyed this book a lot. And I don't want to sit here and just read all the ideas out to you, but I recommend just getting it. I'm sure it's not very expensive. I actually have a link to it. I think it's like $15. I have the link in my YouTube description. So if you're watching this on YouTube, or you want to go find the link to the book, go to my YouTube. It's right in the description of this video. It's a little bit.ly link. It'll bring you right to eBay where you can get the book for free shipping. I was a car wash company when I was a kid. Chip. Again, so chapter 4 is the upside of recurring revenue, stuff that I felt like I knew, kind of skipped getting started, how to implement some of these things. Chapter 6 was a niche will make you rich. This is something I always admit that I struggle with a little. My niche is live streaming, so I guess you could say that's a niche, but I feel like I could niche that down further. I just have a hard time doing that because I have various interests that I have. So right now I'm studying to be a psychology student. I'm studying to be a psychologist. I'm a psychology student, and I like to share the different things I learn from my classes. But I take various classes. So yeah, there's a lot of psychology we talk about on here. But then I also do like human biology labs because I was taking that class and I thought some of that stuff was interesting, or even sociology, which is more closely related. I read a lot of different kinds of books. I just became a step parent about a year ago, so I've started learning about parenting, reading parenting books, talking about parenting here on the channel. We talk about relationships. We talk about health. I do workouts. I bring you guys to the gym with me. We haven't done food in a long time. I haven't really, since I got with my new boyfriend. He does a lot of cooking, and I've definitely been taking advantage of that a little bit more than maybe I should. So I haven't been doing as many cooking scopes as I used to, but I used to do that pretty regularly. I'm not a great cook. We cooked a lot of the same stuff over and over, but even like smoothies and stuff. And we've talked a lot about wealth, a lot about business, a lot about investments. I'm definitely going to be reading I don't know if you guys can see those books clearly back there, but I have a lot of investment books that I'm going to be reading this year in 2020. So stay tuned for that. I sometimes do valuations here, and you can find those on my YouTube channel. So there's a lot of different stuff on here. So I'm not really sure that's a niche. I'm in the probably personal development, business development niche, with live streaming being a little bit niched down in that. But I also do random stuff. Like, we were celebrating yesterday that I have 10 days off from school. So we were just like having drinks in the hot tub at Harrah's in Atlantic City and kind of talking about whatever and just dancing and having a good time. So that's one thing that I don't practice that I sometimes preach, but usually I'm just preaching it out of other books. So I haven't figured out the best way to niche, but I know they say the smaller the niche, the bigger the rich. So if you can find something that you're specifically good at, especially those of you who haven't started a business yet, you're not really sure what even to do, you just have that entrepreneurial bug, find something that is unique that you can fill in a way that's not already being done. Real money for me is having an electrical construction company and flipping houses moving from New Jersey to Pennsylvania. I'm a step parent as well as a regulation parent. Regulation parent. Never heard it called that before. Hey, Danny. Did I miss other comments here? Real money for you. So what are you saying that's real money? So what's recurring? Are you trying to say something related to this, or are you just saying something separate? Tomorrow on live, I'm seeing how many cupcakes I can possibly jam down my throat in 10 minutes. Oh God, I hope you don't puke. Made me some weed cash. Oh my gosh. If you sell weed, you probably have some kind of recurring revenue. Hey, Sean. Noah, I haven't seen you in a few days. How are you, my entrepreneurial friend? Definitely get this book, dude. It's called Mastering Recurring Revenue by Judge Graham. It's really short. It's only like 60 pages. If you read fast, it'll only take you less than an hour to read it. Give you a lot of cool ideas, especially if you already have an existing business. I would say that I haven't dropped any frames on my end, so if it might be on your end, Danny, or it might be Periscope. So if you jump over to YouTube, everything should be really clear. Washing cars as a kid. No, I know what you meant, but I just tried to make it more relevant to the topic. Slap a 20 on a copy machine, boom, recurring revenue. That's counterfeit money, and it will not be accepted anywhere. And you'll probably go to jail. But nice try, nice guy. Nice try, nice guy. Hi, Sean. Let's see. So niche, identify new product and service opportunities. This is chapter 7. This was also really interesting to me. It's not really about recurring revenue as much as it's just about general business improvement. And I really need to do this better myself. So this was about studying the competition, studying the high performers in your industry. So for me, that would be high performing live streamers, and figuring out what they're doing and becoming a customer of theirs. So actually buying their product or their service or subscribing to their channel, whatever it may be, and see what kind of benefits they're offering. What kind of communication are they having with their clients? What kind of special bonuses do you get for being one of their customers? How do they try to retain you? How do they try to engage with you? What level of service and what opportunities are missing there? What's the general feel from their clientele, from their base, from their consumer base? What are people loving? What are people wanting? What are people not getting? Those things are extra important to us because we can obviously model our things after the things that work really well. But what we're really looking for is, where can we fill a void? Where is there a gap that's not being met that we can fill with our business? Typically, we're going to be, for most people I'm talking to, we're small businesses. We're a little more agile. We can kind of bob and weave more effectively than a really big, large company. So if you're competing with Walmart, then what is it that's missing from Walmart? What is Walmart not able to offer? And what can you offer that's going to outperform someone that you might view as someone you could never compete with? If you don't know the story about Sam Walton, the creator of Walmart, there's a book about him called Made in America, about his journey and what he was like. And it was said that he spent more time in his competitors' stores than in his own stores. He was measuring widths of aisles, comparing prices, comparing products, comparing customer service, comparing greeting times, comparing the length of the aisles, every little thing, shelf height, what did they have on what shelves, what was moving, what wasn't moving, and really had that finger on the pulse, not only of his own business, but of his industry, by really keeping an eye on and studying, really deeply studying the competition. And what are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? What can I learn from? What can I do better than them? And I thought that was really important, that sometimes gets overlooked, and for me has been overlooked for a while now. And my revenue was down to about half of what it was. So in 2019 I brought in a little over 40 grand, and 2018 I brought in about 80 grand. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what have I been missing? Maybe that is part of it. When I was new to live streaming, I was in a lot of live streams. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Oh, I'm like in all these live streams all the time. I spent a lot of time consuming live content, and now I spend a lot more time creating it. And I realized, okay, maybe that's one piece of the puzzle that I've kind of forgotten about, that I personally can improve on. And I think any business, any industry, you can improve on that too, becoming more familiar with your competition, with what's going on in your industry, and actually becoming their customer. So you get that behind the scenes look at how is everything processed, what is everything like, what's the customer experience really like, and how can you improve on that, and what can you learn from, what can you take from that. I look taller on YouTube. Chris, you just want to call in, don't you? Walmart now is heavily infiltrated by the Illuminati and has a globalist agenda. Oh my gosh, you guys. I feel like perhaps you're missing the point. Unique selling proposition, USP. Are you talking about a niche? Kind of. So unique selling proposition is something that you do differently from the competition. Maybe that's what you're talking about, like here with when you're looking at your competition. Yeah, very similar to that. It might not be something that you necessarily promote or focus on in terms of marketing. Like it's not necessarily part of your sales strategy as much as it is maybe more like customer service, customer retention. All of that, I guess, is part of the sales process, but a unique selling proposition is, you could say that's part of this, for sure. Yeah. Thank you, Mark. You could use some manners. I use counterfeit money and I'm still here in hay. Oh, well, that's great that you're typing that into the chat. Weed too bulky to sling. What? Weed too bulky to sling. Okay. My hair is cool. Thank you. I didn't brush it after the gym. The blouse, it's actually a hoodie. And I'm using my hair to cover up what's on it because it's an old Femme Yoga hoodie. But I'm cold. ABC, always be closing. Look at you guys with your acronyms. Oh, yes, you guys have your acronyms down. But do you have your revenue down? You don't want your revenue down, you want your revenue up. Do you have your revenue? Get your revenue up, bro. I've heard UK police can't legally arrest you for money laundering. Is it true? Just saying. I don't know. I'm not familiar with UK laws because they don't apply to me. Hopefully. So yeah, and that's part of the chapter where you're trying to find new product and service opportunities. So is there something that your competition's offering that you're not even offering that you could offer at a better price or at a better service, or something you just never thought about? You can try it. Experimenting is part of business. So there's things that some of you guys know, you've been around long enough, you remember my content creator program. I used to have other people that live streamed on my channel, and they would broadcast about different things. We had cooks, we had yoga teachers, we had musicians, and I experimented with that for about a year and a half, and it was not profitable. It was not effective. I thought that would increase the value of this channel. I thought it would increase the revenue. I thought that by providing more content, more value of high quality live streamers, that would just translate to more revenue, an increase in revenue. That's not the way that it worked. It turned out that my audience and my technique and what works for me wasn't necessarily working for other streamers, and they weren't necessarily adopting the strategies, no matter how many times I would say maybe do this or do that. Their heart wasn't in it, right? So they weren't as passionate about it as me, or they just aren't me, right? So my audience supports me and my content. I'm still trying to figure out how I can separate myself from my business, because I know that passive income and having a sellable business is very, very important to creating long-term wealth as a business owner. But that was one way that I tried doing that, and that didn't work. So I got to figure out something else, and I had to end that program. So not only should you be experimenting and trying new things, but give it a timeline that you're going to check back in on. So I would say usually like 6 months to a year. I went a little long on that experiment. It was a year and a half. I lost a lot of money on that situation. It was an experiment. It was a lesson. That's when we really learn, right? I'm still confident. I have good self-esteem. I realize that I can acknowledge that was a mistake and move forward, and that I should have tried it. And there was only one way to find out if it would work. And I know now that it doesn't work. And I'm very confident that it didn't work. And if someone else can figure out a way to make it work, I'm happy to try it again. You know, I'm open. But I also know that I needed to stop it. It wasn't an easy decision to end that experiment. I was very attached to it. I really wanted it to work, but you know, enough is enough. You have to, if you're losing money on something you're experimenting with and it's been, 6 months or more, especially if it's been over a year, stop selling that product, stop selling that service. Okay, you might lose 5 to 10 of your customers or whatever it is for you, or maybe it's a higher number than that. Maybe it's 5 to 10% of your customer base. But then you can focus all that energy and time and resource on the things that are your big money makers. You know how they say that 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your products and services? I had a really big aha moment on this. Oh, hey, Grunslers. I've only been live for about 20 minutes. You didn't miss too much. But I am talking really fast today. I think it's because it's my time of the month and my hormones are like... Oh, so this big aha moment for me, I was looking at my revenue outside of Periscope. Periscope's my main revenue source. And I was looking at revenue outside of Periscope, a lot of this is driven from my Periscope audience, but things that aren't processed through so I count PayPal, people that send me support here, like what you guys see here, you guys. I count that and Super Hearts as Periscope revenue. And then anything outside of that, so if I sell an ebook, or if I sell a yoga session, or if I sell like my voice on a voicemail, or I sell merch, all that kind of stuff is outside. Or if I make money on another platform like Twitch, these things are the other revenue that I take into consideration and track. And I looked at the difference. I make a little pie chart out of it using Excel from year to year. And I looked at 2018's revenue, and the numbers escapes me right now, but it's something like 75% of my revenue came from selling my ebook. I wrote an ebook in 2018 called How to Make Money on Periscope. And I promoted it a lot, and it was a big deal, and it was fresh, and it was new, and I'm still one of the only people that make money and make a living on Periscope. And 75% of my revenue came from that one ebook, $20 ebook, one ebook, just selling that. And I actually made more outside revenue in 2018 than I did this past year in 2019, which was broken up of a variety of different things, ebook being a very small portion of them. And overall, I was selling a more diverse variety of things. And I still, all in all, for the year total, sold about $100 less of other things. And that included actually Twitch. So including in 2019 Twitch revenue that I brought in. So if you take that out of the picture, I made very little money on outside items, and I realized, what does this say to me? That I need to focus on ebooks. I need to write more ebooks or books in general and focus on promoting those, or maybe online programs. And these are recurring revenue sources because people can buy them anytime. Even if I'm not necessarily promoting it, you could end up on my website, you could see it there, you could want to buy it. So, and obviously if I do promote it, market it, advertise it, I can sell it even more. And you can also set up automated marketing, advertising, all of that. So it can be passive as well, but it's also recurring because people can continue to buy it. And what's beautiful about it is that it's passive, which means I don't have to continue putting more time and energy into it to sell it. It already exists. The ebook is there. You guys can go and buy that ebook right now if you want, and so I realized that I want to focus on writing more ebooks, I want to revise that ebook because it's been 2 years now since it came out. Thank you for the super hearts. I'm going to say thank you in just a minute. Sarah, Tanisha, thank you, girls. Thank you so much for the super hearts. I see them popping up. I'm just trying to finish my sentence here, but I love and appreciate you guys so much. I will read the comments in a moment, too. So, ebook. I want to revise the ebook and launch the new ebook, that same one, How to Make Money on Periscope, now that I have 2 more years of experience under my belt from the last time I wrote it. And I also want to write a new one. And then I also want to launch my first online program, and it'll probably be based around meditation. That's what I'm thinking right now. Of course, as you develop, sometimes things, evolve on their own. But as of right now, I plan on launching my first ever online program, which will be a multiple video part series that you can purchase as a bundle, and it'll have different meditations and talk about the benefits of meditation in there. I might implement yoga into it too. Yoga is a little bit harder to film and edit, and I might want to start with just something small and simple first. So it might just be meditation for my first online program, because I realize that if I can just make a package that's valuable to people, something that people want, and sell that, it's so much easier than some of these other things that I made money on, like my mastermind group. My mastermind group is great, but I have to show up and do this mastermind call every single month. And there was at least one call that went like 4 hours long. It's great that we're all masterminding, having these great, breakthroughs, revelations, and like brainstorming together. But at the same time, like, that's a lot more time and energy that I'm putting into that. It takes a lot more time to prep. I keep track of everyone's goals and keep everyone accountable. It's just a lot more work. I have to set up this whole setup. I have to record everything. I have to then upload it to YouTube, make it available to the group after the fact, answer the group's questions, schedule the next month's call, do the same thing the next month, and keep doing that. Whereas when I write the ebook, it's done. I might have to revise it every year or so, but it obviously makes a lot more sense. So for me, in my business, in my industry, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those 20% of my items that generate 80% of my revenue, and focusing on those, focusing on improving those, focusing on growing those, and eliminating the 20% of items that take 80% of my time and only make 20% of my revenue, and take 80% more time. It's the Pareto efficiency, the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. So, and I've heard it said different ways, 95-5, 85-15, 75-25, whatever you want to call it. There's things that make a lot more sense to pour time and focus into. Travel is one of your most creative foods. What? The meditation thing sounds really cool. Thank you, Dave. I'm glad you like that. Thank you for inviting your followers, Sarah. You should make a calendar. A calendar with pictures of me on it? You had an epiphany. Did I? Oh, an epiphany? I mean, it wasn't necessarily an epiphany. It was just data analysis, right? So I looked at the data, I saw what it said, and I said, okay, now I know, now I can pivot. And you don't really get, so I said in the beginning, right? You might just be starting up thinking, what do I want to do for my business? I'm talking to all different levels of entrepreneurs right now. I've only been an entrepreneur myself for a few years. So even me, I'm at my own level. But the best thing is to track everything, keep track of everything, because you can't really like figure these things out until you have previous years to look back on. So I could have just started tracking last year and just had 2019's numbers and said, okay, that seems fine. That's my number. That's my baseline. But because I was tracking in 2018, I can look at 2018 compared to 2019 and learn a lot more. And at the end of this year in 2020, I can compare the 3 years and figure out patterns and what's working and what doesn't work and what's creating a lot of headaches and a lot of work for me that's unnecessary and generating like $20 a month, and I'm spending hours on it. Well, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's time to get rid of that, when you realize it, or to add something. So I wrote that ebook 2 years ago, haven't done anything like that since, and I look back and I go, oh my gosh, that was like such a little baby gold mine. It wasn't tons of money, but it was still like, oh, okay, that was really effective. And I enjoy reading and writing, and I have a lot of thoughts about how to make money on Periscope, so why don't I just revise that book and then come up with another ebook to write, which I think is going to be something like Getting Naked with Strangers, about the value of being weird and unique and unconventional, and how that's really helped me in my life and making me stand out and helping me to be successful, and why it's important and how to help people embrace those parts of themselves that are weird and unusual, because a lot of pressure comes down to not be that way and not do those things, and that the vast majority of the source of those pressures are not making very good money and are not running successful businesses and are not very successful in their relationships or with their health or whatever it may be, So being unusual is better. And that's another book I think I'm going to try to write this year. Let me change that verbiage. That is a book that I'm going to write this year. I got a little something on my face. Is it genius? Is my genius showing? I have like so much genius brewing for my brain that it started to come down. It just boom, busted out of my face. I'm getting ideas from this already. Yay! Were you watching the LSU Clemson game? No, I wasn't. What did I miss? Is that where the keyboard came from? That was free. That was given to me for free on my birthday from a guy who had a crush on my receptionist when I managed an office for Cutco. Yay, hot receptionists. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't say hot. Is that objectifying? Yay, beautiful receptionists. I got a free keyboard. Uh, 7832, sure. 7030, also 8119, 8129, the pool. You could shoot a calendar in a day, make big money, couple gym picks, book picks, etc. I like that idea. That's a good idea. I'll write that down. It would also provide for Instagram content too. I was noticing that on Instagram, people seem to really like photos of me, but see, it's important because you have to measure and track what works. Because what we think, this is important. This is really important for entrepreneurs everywhere. What we think people want and what we think people will buy and what we think people value is not always correct. You know what is going to tell us what is absolutely correct when it comes to those things is where they spend their money. The things they spend their time on. So time is money, right? Time and money kind of interchangeable here. Let me say that one more time. What you think people want, what you think people value, and what you think people will pay for is not always correct. If you want to figure out how to analyze that, figure out what they are currently spending their money on and what they're currently spending their time on. Because I think that people want information, they want knowledge, they want to learn, they want education. I'm a good teacher. I absorb a lot of information, and I think I present it in a really clear way. I'm really good at assimilating knowledge. I've learned that that's a strength of mine. But there's 31 people in this broadcast, and maybe 10 of them are commenting regularly, probably not even, probably more like 5. And that is, if I just sit here and have a drink, there will be 100 people in the room, and we'll just be talking about like the most random, to me, I feel like very superficial, kind of shallow stuff, like what's the weather like, and what's my plans for tomorrow, or whatever, like. And it's like, okay, what I value isn't what everyone else values, especially if you're like me and you're very unconventional, unusual, you think differently. If you're an entrepreneur, you probably already think differently than the masses. So it's really hard for us to know what people want. And even those people that are your customers, they don't always know what they want either. So they've done this before, where they've done like test groups and market research, and they found that like if you just ask people, okay, what do you want, what would you buy, people think they know, and they'll say some things, but it's not what they spend their money on. I've made more money when I was spending a good at least half of my time on Periscope drinking and just partying and playing copyright music. Probably shouldn't say that out loud, but it was, I mean, I didn't know that I couldn't do that, because everybody was doing that. I realized I probably shouldn't be doing that, and I stopped, and my money kind of stopped. And I started, I became a stepmom, so I stopped drinking as much and partying. I quit smoking weed. I went back to school. I started learning, and it's like, okay, people said they want high quality content. They want to learn. They want education, but from what I can see, that's not really what people value and what people really want to spend their time on. So I have to be willing to just kind of say, okay, if people just want to see me in my bikini and that's what they want to spend money on, and I can just make a calendar of a bunch of pictures of me in my bikini and make a bunch of money, and then have the freedom, because of the money that I've earned, to sit here and talk to you guys about the different, the 30 of you guys out there that want to talk about books. Great, because that's what I want to do too. I want to read books. I want to talk about them. I want to connect with like-minded people. I want to connect with other entrepreneurs and other people who are advancing themselves and already in that like higher, kind of echelon of society, I would say, and maybe higher IQ or however. I don't know if they're high. You're all in the higher echelon. Is echelon even the right word? I'm not sure, but that's what I want to do. But I can't do it for free. So it's like, okay, so take pictures, do this calendar. If I can sell that, great. If I don't, I did not really out a bunch of money. It's just pictures of me on account, it's no big deal. And then figure out a way to do what I really want to do, which is educate and assimilate and share information. Mark said I'm good with that. All of the above. Time to start getting drunk. Weed is great. Well, what's the weather like, Taylor? And also tell, what are your plans for tomorrow? The weather is in the 50s, and my plans for tomorrow are go to the gym. Stop. I'll need some credit on the calendar idea. A small acknowledgement on the September page, maybe. What about like if I'm in my bikini and I'm eating chips, and I'm like, this one's for Chip. If you don't care to watch the game, then don't say, what did I miss? Why? He asked if I saw it. I assume something interesting happened. Oh, guys, remember what I learned on my last broadcast? Not to put my phone up here. Guys, I forgot. This is better, because then my arm isn't up there like that. I gotta remember the lessons I actually learned. I was conned into buying some of those overpriced knives. But if you don't lose them, then they're not really that overpriced, because you'll have them forever and you can get them redone. The best thing to do is call your local Cutco office and ask for a service call. So have somebody, have a sales rep actually come out and sharpen the knives for you. Anything that's broken or rusty or whatever that they can't fix there, they'll actually package up and ship back for you. So you don't have to pay like all that. Maybe they'll still charge you the shipping. I don't know if they still charge you the shipping, but I feel like that's one of the hardest parts, is like actually packaging up all those knives into a box, and then shipping is like all heavy, and I was like, I forgot that. So, but yeah, take advantage of that forever guarantee. But also know that when they come out, they are going to try to sell you a lot of stuff if they're good at their job, which they better be. Do I speak Spanish or Portuguese? Un poquito. Chalk me up. Shit, this is for higher IQ. Doesn't have to be bikini calendar. A couple months, maybe. You're right. People are spending on unimportant things. I'll tell you that me in a bikini is the most successful content on my Instagram page. Doesn't make me any money though, but it does show me what people actually value, which is a little sad, but at the same time, I'm just trying to be open to the reality, right? I can't be in denial of what is actually working. But I'm cold, so I'm wearing a hoodie, and it is what it is. Put a fact on each day. Yeah, like, it's like me in lingerie reading a book. And then it's like a little book summary attached. That's funny. Hola. Bien. Así. Bien. Y tú? All right. Chapter 8, test and validate. That's what I'm talking about with tracking. And then Chapter 9, take action. Last year, our theme, as inspired by Grant Cardone's book, The 10X Rule, was massive action. Taking action right away when you're inspired, not when it's convenient. Oh, okay, well, I need to go to bed now, so I can't really take action on this. No, you can. You can take action. You're not going to lose sleep your whole life, hopefully. Sleep is very important, but when you're inspired to do something, just do it right then. Do it when you're thinking about it. Make it a thing. Go. Do it. Because if you put it off, it's pretty much not going to happen. I always leave if I see those treadmill scopes fact. You always leave if you see the treadmill scopes? What do you mean you leave if you see them? What? You come in and then you leave? Like, I don't understand what you mean. You come in, you see them on the treadmill, and you leave? Why? I like you any which way. When you say successful, you mean likes. Yeah, likes, views, comments. Mm-hmm. Yeah, engagement. Engagement is higher there. And follows as well. Although I don't really do that a whole lot. But I do more in the summertime. And when I'm focused on it, right? You can only focus on one thing at a time. So to end this broadcast, I'm going to... Oh, let me show you the book one more time. I'm going to tell you guys the ideas I came up with. And I'm curious to know what you guys think about these product ideas for me. What you think about it. If you have other ideas, I'll take them. Because as you know, I'm trying to have a $120,000 a year. If they are the revealing ones, they make me uncomfortable. I leave. Revealing? What do you mean? Revealing what? Because you're smart enough to do whatever you want. Help me make money. Okay, Air. Are you an employee or an entrepreneur? Thank you for the Super Hearts chip. Thank you. Listen, I have a body, okay? So sometimes you see my body. I don't show any nudity. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm not going to put a bra on so that you're more comfortable or that you hang out with me. If you don't want to hang out with me because I don't wear a bra, then I guess that's just something I'm going to have to deal with. Put your book on Amazon. No, I'm not going to let Amazon take 35% of my income. People aren't searching on Amazon for how to make money on Periscope. I don't think. You know what I mean? I have to start from scratch. I have to start from scratch in a dark world. Turn the light on. What? What do you mean a dark world? Start from scratch. What's going on? You mean like your world is dark? Something happened? Okay, so you're saying you don't have a job or a business? Is that the answer? Because I asked you, are you an employer or an entrepreneur? You said, I have to start from scratch in a dark world, and I still don't know the answer to the question. Little income from Amazon, better than no income is what I feel. I just said that I made about 75% of my revenue from the ebook in 2018, so, I mean, it's still, it generated good revenue for me, I feel like. I'm going to revise the ebook. Yeah, I have no interest in partnering with Amazon. Amazon has not been a good business to partner with me in the past with the Amazon partnership, Amazon Partner program. What's the name of their program? Amazon Partners or something? I'm not particularly a fan. I've tried that. Wasn't a big fan, so I've switched over to eBay. Thanks, Dee. Have a good day. I mean, a good night, too. Okay. So I put that a potential option for me would be to, and these are ideas I got pretty much all from the book. Discounts on my products and services for people who are members of my private Periscope group. So everyone who contributes $25 or more are members of my private Periscope group. Now, the benefit of being in there is they get access to the private group, where it's a lot more intimate. We can have a lot more deep, kind of laid back, real, a little bit more candid conversations, and there's no trolls, there's no like random people coming in going, what's next, Juice? What is this? Who are you? You know, they kind of like, we know each other, and we get to know each other pretty well in there too. There's nothing sexual, there's no nudity. It's just very, like, I went live there after the gym, and I sat on the couch for a while, and we just like talked about, we're talking about like different things that the kids want on Grand Theft Auto, and how I'm, you know, trying to launch my new website in the next few weeks, and is that really going to happen? You know, just little like chats among a smaller group. I think there was like 6 or 7 of us in there hanging out for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. I'm not exactly sure how long it was, but so the benefit is being in the private group. You get more live content, more FaceTime with yours truly, but also it's a lot easier for me to have a conversation with like 1 or 2, a couple people at a time than it is to have a conversation with like 50 people at once. So there's benefits just being in the private group. Plus you're supporting the channel, which is awesome. If you support on it as a monthly regular sponsor, there's an additional bonus, which I'm not allowed to talk about when I have Super Hearts on here on Periscope. So if you click the 3 dots at the bottom of the screen and click nextjuice.com/support, you can see exactly what I'm talking about there. So there's those benefits. And I thought, okay, well, what's a way to get more people into the private group and more people supporting at that level? And I put potentially offering them discounts for my other products or services. My ebook, my recipes, my merch, whatever it is, offering a discount, whatever amount that is. It's just one more perk for being in the private group, and it could also potentially get people buying more of those other products and services because now they get a discount, so they're more likely to look at them. Oh, well, I get a discount on it. How much does it cost originally? What is it? Do I want it? It's generating more interest in the product in addition to giving another perk to sell the base product, which is the private Periscope group. For anyone who's wondering, NextJuice is a connected group of people who value positivity. Nex is short for Nexus, which means a connected group, and juice is just like a slang term for that special quality, that special it factor that this community has. Hey Ariana, yep, I went to the gym earlier. That was my last broadcast. These are the people who have supported the channel over the last 30 days. Hey Amanda, how have you been? Oh my gosh, is it so cold in Canada right now? I know, my hair is getting kind of long, right? I was looking at it today, I was like, I haven't cut it in so long, and it's like the ends are so dead and they need to be trimmed, but I just want it to get longer. It's so short. It used to be so long. I guess it is getting longer now, but still, I want it to be like a little bit more, a little more. We're working on it. I'll wait a day when the topic is more suitable. Erin, you can talk about whatever you want, any day you want. What's the lineup? Need to tune in on a night when I can talk. Oh, you mean actually call in? Okay, well, depending on how long this goes, maybe I can do a call in after this. What's the lineup? Wait, what lineup? Originally, I just assumed you really loved orange juice. Orange juice is good. Thank you for retweeting, Michael. How are you? It's actually so cold, but we keep getting freezing rain instead of snow. Ugh, that sounds dangerous. Do you like snow? Thank you, Ariana. I appreciate that. I promise that. What? I don't know if you mean subscribe on my YouTube channel or subscribe as a monthly sponsor. That would be awesome. Both would be awesome. Appreciate that. That's another thing I've been thinking about. Let's go with this. This is something that another epiphany. Shout out to Mark Gage that I had about advertising revenue. So some of you know, some of you have been with me the past 3 years. If you haven't been here, I've been live on Periscope every single day for over 3 years in a row, every day. Over 1,000 days. And for most of that time, I've been focusing on growing my YouTube watch time. I haven't really, okay, I'm lying if I say I've been focusing on it. I've been wanting it to happen, not actively focusing on it. Every once in a while I actively focus on it and we get a spike in viewership, but it's not authentic viewership, right? It's people like you guys who are like, oh, I want to help Taylor out. I'll go run her YouTube videos on like a loop while I'm sleeping to boost her view time. It's not people actually watching my videos more, like not like people genuinely interested or going viral or something on YouTube. And the reason for that is because if you want to monetize on YouTube, you have to get 4,000 hours watched over the last 365 days. So that's actually hard. You also have to have over 1,000 subscribers. That I have. So I have the 1,000 subscribers, but now I have to figure out how to get the 4,000 hours of watch time. And it's because I can monetize, so I can monetize ads on my page. So I can put, on my videos. So there's usually ads in the beginning, and then you can like plop them throughout the video as well and insert them in. And you make money off of how many people view and click on the ads. Then I was thinking about it just the other day too. It's kind of embarrassing that I just kind of like thought about this the other day. I was like, why do I even care about that? Because I don't like ads, and I bet you guys don't like ads either. So I like monetizing the way that I monetize now, which is through volunteerism, which is people find value in the channel, basic economics, value exchange occurs. They value what I'm doing, they value the time and energy and information they get from me, and they pay me for it with their valued money that they worked hard to earn and spend on things that they value, like food and their bills and whatever entertainment they like, and this channel, hopefully. So I don't really like the idea of ads. I like the fact that Periscope has no ads. It's one of the reasons I think it's one of the best live streaming, the best live streaming app in the entire world. So why am I even caring about not having this number of watch hours when I don't like ads? I don't even want ads on my videos. I want people to support me from their own pocket, not by being exposed to a bunch of advertisements which are trying to sell them something else and get them to spend their money elsewhere. Make a few cents and you guys go buy some watch or something, like that doesn't even make sense to me. Why am I even caring about that? So I've completely let that go. I don't even really care. I will say that if I monetize my YouTube channel, I also can get super chats, which are like the YouTube version of super hearts on Periscope, which is like tips people can send within the app. Obviously, it's easier to just go to my website anyway, but that is one thing I would like to have. But at the same time, I don't even go live on YouTube that often. I mean, one person has commented on this live stream on YouTube right now. And it's Chris Rossetti, who usually watches me on Periscope. Probably every single person that's subscribed to me, almost every single person on YouTube that's subscribed to me is from Periscope. It has very, very rarely ever gone the other direction. Lost my voice there for a second. Okay. Like your next few topics? My next few topics? Well, right now we're talking about mastering recurring revenue. I have like 10 other books I'm going to be reviewing over the next week, so I don't know which one's next. I don't usually know what broadcast I'm going to do next. I kind of judge it based on how much time I have, what amount of setup needs to be done, what day of the week, what time of the day it is. All just varies. Because you never know how long a live stream is going to go. What she's selling. Just support of this group. There's things that I'm selling on my website, like yoga sessions, but you can, or private calls with me, but you can also just support the channel. That's what these people are doing. There are benefits to supporting the channel. There's like things that you get for doing it, but what I really want people to do is support the channel for what it's worth to you. So if you feel like, I'm live here 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you're getting 21 hours of live content a week, which is 84 hours of live content a month. Well, actually, it's more than that. It ends up being about 90 hours of content a month. So if that's worth, $5 to you per month, $20, whatever it's worth to you, you just go and support on the channel so that I can keep the channel going. It really is. But if you're new here, it's probably not worth anything to you yet, so just sit tight, follow, and let me earn it. It really is, especially for you're out with the little ones or when you're driving, and I honestly really dislike snow and cold. Me too. Why do you live in Canada? Move away. I dislike your videos on YouTube. Why? I don't mind the short 15-second ads, to be honest. Okay. You can set up Patreon for YouTube. Patreon? Why wouldn't I just use Nextjuice? Why would I give 10% to Patreon? Periscope will change when you least expect it. Okay. Some people don't mind. The last time there was a big change on Periscope, well, I guess the last time was Collins, and the last big change before that was Super Hearts, so keep the changes coming. I like Collins and I like Super Hearts. Some people don't mind ads. Periscope has it so I can't actually turn Collins on when I'm live from my computer, which is really frustrating because I wish I could, but unfortunately, not an option. As they understand the creator gets money and they get the content. Yeah. The big issue on YouTube is you say a blacklisted word and your whole video gets demonetized. Yeah. I wonder if that's why they came out with the yes, it's made for kids or no, it's not made for kids button. I set all my videos to not made for kids because I just figured that's more regulation that I don't really need because kids don't have money anyway. Would you do an after dark speaking on anything scary? Like what? Periscope used to be so cool. And then racist comment. That's how I see it. Value for value. Yeah, me too. Scary scope. Like what? Like what scares you? I mean, I don't believe in ghosts or anything. I'm not really sure what you mean. Anything along scary lines. 2018 for us was the year of no fear, so. Are those donations what you live off of? How you survive? Yes. It's how I survive. Okay. Just like any job or business. Kids don't have money anyway. It's true. The censorship Nazis are coming, though. Okay. I messed up. I'll try not to swear so much. Anyway, all right. So another idea that I had was a discount for signing up to the monthly group for an extended period of time at once. So if you buy like 6 months access to the private group, then you get it on a discount. So normally it's $25 a month. So I put maybe I would have it for like $120 and you get 6 months of access. Or, even like maybe $180 and you get access for a year. So it's a big discount off of the private group so that so that people are, instead of spending $25, they're spending $120 or $180 at once. So another idea I had, I could come up with better pricing structure than that, but it was just an idea. My book reviews email. So right now, I think that's one of the most valuable things I do. Again, it's valuable to me, not sure how valuable it is to other people. Some of my high-level supporters and friends do find a lot of value from it. So I thought I could have a basic book reviews email, which would just be a list of the books that I read with links to go check out the book and links to my YouTube reviews like I'm doing right now with this book. And that would be it. And then you could have the detailed book review, which would cost a little bit something, even if it was like $1 per email, even if it was like $12 a year, and you get access to the detailed book reviews, which has the written summary and review of each book on it. It was an idea that I had, something that's just, again, recurring. Something I'm currently doing for free, I do think is really valuable and is worth at least something, You shouldn't have said ghost. Now they expect a seance. Hi, Dave. Thanks, Dave. Are those donations from today or from this week? From the last 30 days. People feeling it already? You don't believe in ghosts? I missed that. I need to go back to 2018. Well, what are you afraid of? You want me to do a scary broadcast? Tell me what you want me to do the broadcast about. Oh, this idea was actually like Ed's idea. It kind of was like a group idea, a group effort here, is products like these. So some of you guys know I got this Go-Go Pick. It's the little suction cup. So this is the second one. So they actually sent me 2. So this one's pink with the blue holder. I have the black suction cups with the white holder that I actually am using. It's in my purse all the time. And I thought about, when companies send me products like this to review for them and to promote in front of my audience, I could charge companies to be a sponsor of the broadcasts for a month, let's say. So for a month, let's say for like $50, you could be a sponsor for the month, and for at least one broadcast every day that month, I would say at the end, at the middle, during, somewhere in it, I would say this broadcast brought to you by Go-Go Pick. It's a suction cup that helps you take pictures with your phone. I don't know, whatever I think it says. The best tool for selfie experts, and I could even do like a little demonstration of it here and there if I want to, depending on what the pay structures, I could have different prices, because it doesn't have to be something I'm holding in my hand. I could say, this broadcast was brought to you by Sold Pros Real Estate. You got a house you're trying to sell? Get sold. Soldpros.com. Something like that's my boyfriend's company. So I think something like that would be really valuable to businesses because it gets it out there in front of over 100,000. I have over 100,000 followers, but I actually get 250,000 views every month. So in just 4 months, you've been exposed to 1 million people, and some of those people more than once, which is the most effective form of advertising, is them hearing about your business or your brand more than once. And obviously, as I promote that, other brands, other businesses might want that, so then I can sell more of that as well. So I think that's a pretty cool idea. Plus, I might learn about more cool new businesses and entrepreneurs to network with, which is how I met my boyfriend. We were having weekly business calls, and now we live together. Do product placement and put a bottle of Coke in the background. Yeah, something like that, right? David Dobrik's plug for SeatGeek. I don't know who that is or what that is, but yes. Are you afraid of the dark? Those are ghost stories. Brand deals. Yeah, and it's like a tiny one, right? I'm like, $50 a month. I don't know. It's just something new, something to add to the revenue. If it becomes, I find with entrepreneurs, we're often like, but what if we get too many customers? How are we going to handle the influx of clients and appointments to schedule? And it's like, why don't you cross that bridge when you get to it? Because having too many customers is a great problem to have, and having competition for your products, that just means that your price is too low, right? It's basic supply and demand. If you don't have enough supply and you have a really high demand, you increase the price, it decreases the demand a little bit, and it matches your supply. So, you know, I was thinking, like, what if there are like multiple companies in the same industry? Like, what if another suction cup selfie company wants me to promote them, and now they're conflicting? And what if, you know, there's like 10 companies I'm supposed to promote every day, and, you know, and I'm like, why don't I worry about that when I have that problem? And I can always increase the price, you know. You lost a puppy to a chupacabra. Not that I'm afraid of anything, just an experience that is keeping me from making money and enjoying life. And you want me to do a broadcast about that? Chupacabras. Matthew, I saw you in Randy's broadcast spitting some wisdom about buying used cars. No, Grunts. Gosh, you. Hi, Lizzie. How are you, Lizzie Bear? Moment in Time with Taylor, brought to you by Corona. Okay, Corona, I'm going to be like charging a little bit more. You don't know who David Dobrik is? You got homework now? YouTube homework for you, Taylor? Okay, DM it to me on Twitter. Frank Lopez on Scarface. Also don't know what that is. Just your thoughts on it. Words of wisdom. But you're not telling me what it is, so how can I say what I think about it? When's the last time I had a good cry? I don't know. Ham sandwich. How about you? Yes, you can buy Asha for $5. Yes, Aaron, but I'm not looking for anyone's input but yours right now. I'm just trying to figure out what you're talking about. That's all. You're waiting for the appropriate time. I don't know, man. I don't know what you're waiting for. Life is short. Have I ever had my IQ tested? Not formally, no. I've only ever taken like online IQ tests, and I'm like, okay, that's probably not legitimate. I don't really want to pay to have my IQ tested because I don't really care. What am I going to do? Like, welcome to Next Juice, where I am extremely smart. Or not, where I have an average IQ and I paid $100 to find it out every few days when I think about my life. Are you serious right now? Or are you trolling? Because you're a ham sandwich, and I feel like you said some trolly things earlier, perhaps. But if you're serious, we should talk. Well, I mean, you should really talk to a therapist, but I'm here if you want to talk to me too. Okay, thank you, Emily. I cried at my great aunt's memorial. That's true. Actually, I had a heavy cry the night that she died. That was definitely a good cry. What about my Myers-Briggs personality type? ENTJ. How about you? What the heck? YouTube just said my chat was disconnected, but then reconnected. So it is more worth it to buy a used car. Agreed. Just ask PewDiePie. He'll tell you if you bug brain or not. Oh my gosh. Donate $1 for every IQ point Taylor has. In that case, I'll do it. If everybody agreed to do that, I would only need one person to do that in order to fund the IQ test. I don't know if it's $100. I'm making things up. Okay. Make a calendar. That's Chip's idea. Oh, big brain. Oh, I thought you meant tiny little bug brain. And things that I already have that are recurring revenue sources for me and might be something that works for you. Ebooks, like I mentioned. I don't have online programs yet, but I will. My mastermind group, and then monthly sponsors. A ghost is bothering me almost like how they do in the movies, except this movie sucks. A ghost. Okay. If Periscope was shut down yesterday, what would you be doing with your time right now? I'd be live on Twitch. I was INTJ when I was 17, but I need to take the test again for a more accurate type. Yeah, do it. My ex was INTJ. Obvious joke. You'd have to send us money. Obvious joke. About the used car thing? I think I missed one of your comments, or maybe I just forgot. Okay, so that is my review and summary of everything I learned and was inspired to create from Judge Graham's book, Mastering Recurring Revenue. Learn the formula to create compounding, predictable, and massive revenue. Highly recommended. I gave this 5 stars. Some of you know, I very rarely give a book 5 stars. What I like about it is that it is probably going to make me money. It's very short, very concise, and has lots of great ideas. So it was a really fast, easy read. There was still some good anecdotes in here. Usually I don't like a lot of anecdotes, but they were really short. Something like, let's say, Electronics giant Philips rolled out a monitoring service for homebound senior citizens. Called Community Without Walls, Philips' subscription service provides an alert system for falls, a medical dispensing service, and remote monitoring. Philips has sold 1 million subscriptions, which has helped seniors remain at home rather than move to a nursing home. And Philips Lifeline with Auto Alert has helped 7 million people and at-risk individuals with their medical alert needs. ARIA Systems reports, demand for such remote healthcare monitoring is likely to rise as the world continues to age. You know, it's not like 3 pages long. You know, it's 2 paragraphs, and really that first paragraph was enough for me. I probably didn't even read. I didn't read a lot of this book. I don't really read a lot of anecdotes. I get ideas. Okay, what are they doing? 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 Okay. Cool. Great. I have great ideas. I love the book. I gave it 5 stars. I hope you guys will read it. The link to buy it is in the description of my YouTube video. I just saw what you sent, Lizzie. Yeah, that would be awesome. Definitely let me know. Or we can talk. You already reached out to me, so I'm fleshing out the idea right now, so we can kind of talk about it together and see what we think. That would be very, very fun. Yay! Okay, so I still have about an hour of content to do. Now, I could do, why don't you guys, we'll take a vote live to reward those of you who actually turned up live on a Monday night. Is it Monday? I hope it's Monday. To hear me talk about a book. There are 2 options. We can do another book review, or we can do a call-in broadcast where people can call in and talk about things they want to change in their life. And we'll all chat and learn and connect on a deeper level. Technically, it is Tuesday. That's true. It's 1 a.m. But it's not Tuesday night. Pictionary. Pictionary makes no money, Chip. I'm sorry. I know you like it a lot, but it really makes no money. That's why I don't do games a lot. They just don't. They don't make money. Okay, let's chat. Awesome. Bring Sonam. Bring Sonam. What? Bring Sonam. Oh, for the game, because she always wins the games. Okay. All right. I love you guys. I really just see people saying games, which wasn't an option. So, what other books do I have to review? So, I mean, I have a bunch to review. I would say that probably the next one I would do would be this one. What Doesn't Kill Us by Scott Carney about Wim Hof. You read any books on how to get rid of a curse? No, because I don't believe in that stuff. Maybe a graphic novel next time with pictures. Everybody puts in $10 for Pictionary competition. Looks interesting. Do you want to do that, Dave? How freezing water, extreme altitude, and environmental conditioning will renew our lost evolutionary strength. The book I'm reading right now, I'm not going to review yet, but the book I'm reading, if you're curious, is Positive Discipline by Jane Nelson, and it's about parenting. It's about using positive discipline to parent your children. Los niños. He's got an app on that too. An app on the Wim Hof method? Interesting, I didn't know about that. Super interesting but intense, yeah. So my situation just won't be appropriate because it would be hard to understand the situation. No, that's true. Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I understand how you're going to, like, this is what I think you're saying, is that you believe something's going on with you that I don't believe, so you don't really want to talk to me about it because I wouldn't be able to understand because I don't believe in it. Right? I can walk on water if it's frozen. Okay, but can you swim under the ice layer of the frozen water? That's what he holds the Olympic record for. Yeah. Well, I can get that. I get that, Aaron. It walks you through doing the method. It's a cool app. Nice! That's cool that you've actually heard about this before. Dave? Paging Dave NW1. Call in or book review? You had the app. Wow! Well, you're in a good place in the world to do this because you're in Canada. Book review? Were you voting for book review? You asked about the book, but I didn't know if that's who you were voting. Thanks anyways, you tried. I mean, I'm curious about it, yeah. How long do you spend doing yoga in an average week? I don't know, last night in the private Periscope group, I was doing some weird stretches after the gym. Was that last night? No, that was like 2 nights ago. Saturday night? Yeah, that was Saturday night. It was actually like really, really early Sunday morning. I wasn't voting. Okay. Call in to talk about the book. We can't do that. Can you read another anecdote or 2? I'll read one more, and then we'll end. This really isn't an anecdote, but it's just something that might help you come up with something. Examples of recurring revenue in the business world include monthly software subscriptions, recruiting website fees, and office parking passes, to name a few. The cost of the product or service is regularly charged to your credit card, typically monthly, without your involvement or repeated approvals. Ta-da! All right. So it seems like most people were saying call in then, because nobody actually voted for the book. So I thought Dave was. So, all right, we'll just do a call in scope. Call in, talk about whatever we want. We can talk about books, but it's not going to be a formal book review because I like to do those on my YouTube channel, so they're easy to look at after the fact, and I can link them on my book reviews emails, and I can't do that on Periscope. I mean, I can, but they only stay, you can only access them for so long, and it's just not as high quality of a picture. So that's the plan. We'll do a call-in just from my phone, and I hope to see you guys over there. This has been A Moment in Time with Taylor. Thank you for the Super Hearts, Chip, and Tanisha, Sarah, and Mark. Thank you guys. Still nowhere near where we need to be for Super Hearts, so if you got them, send them. I've sold parking spaces before, technically not my lot, but hey, let the buyer beware. Wow. Thanks for being here, Ham. If you want to talk about why you're crying so much about your life, call in on my next broadcast and we can talk about it. I love you, and I love ham sandwiches, and I'll try not to eat your family, but they're delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed today's review of Mastering Recurring Revenue by Judge Graham. Please like, subscribe, and follow. Remember, I'm live on Periscope every single day, 7 days a week, and the best way to help me to keep this channel going is to click the link in the description, nextjuice.com/support, and send $5, $500, $50. It doesn't have to be even, I was going to say it doesn't have to be a multiple of 5, but that is what I have set up on there automatically. You can send any weird amount, like Kieran, this person who said 1982 was a great year sent $198.20. Kieran's about to come up here and he sent $26.90. So you can be a little, this person sent $29.99. Okay, I'll see you guys on the next juice. This has been A Moment in Time with Taylor, and I hope to see you guys in just a little bit. Thank you to everyone who makes this channel possible. Love you guys. Love you so much. Okay, bye.